beautiful number 13 machine. But it's Rewitsky going to take the lead down into turn number 1, 3 wide, 4 wide, any place there's dirt, these drivers will put their cars. Rewitsky leads the way down the backstretch. They're stacked up for position number 2 down into the third turn. A little bit of smoke out of one of those machines, but as Tim DeBoer up into second, third place is the 27 and Nick Sarantakos.
Rewitsky leading the way in 1 and 2. DeBoer sitting there, that Tim DeBoer number 9, then it's side by side with Sarantakos, Nick Sarantakos, and the 2 of Matt Newell. Good little fight going on there now. Fabio Olivieri and Mike Sarantakos getting into this.
Great battle for that second spot. Rewitsky in the lead. Doesn't have a big lead, but a little bit of a gap back to second spot. But from second all the way to the back of the field, it is anybody's race.
Rewitsky doing a nice job in front. One of those drivers that continues to improve year in and year out, and wouldn't be surprised to see him in victory lane come feature time at some point here this year, driving that Extreme Liners number 4.
And I'm not sure if Sarantakos in the 27 meant to get the car that sideways and peel it down to the bottom, or if he got that sideways and just decided, I'm going to drive this thing straight. But a wicked lane change last time in turn number 4. 2 laps to go in this mini stock qualifying heat.
Tim DeBoer not letting the leader go, and in fact gaining a little bit of ground on him, going down into corner number 1, running a bit of a different line, and he's got Newell right behind him in car number 2. 3-car breakaway at the front as you'll see the white flag this time by.
Top 5 cars going to transfer directly into the feature event, and we've got a hot battle for 5th right now. White flag is out. Rewitsky's lead is vanishing.
And DeBoer right there on the back bumper as is Newell right there. He'll make a challenge to Tim DeBoer down off of corner number 2. They'll go wheel to wheel down the back stretch for the second spot. The final time here in this first qualifying heat, and it's brought to you by Lucas Oil Products.
Rewitsky slides up the racetrack in turn number 4. That might open the door, but no, he gets the power down. Rewitsky with the win, finishing second is DeBoer in the number 9.
Newell will come home in the third spot. Nick Sarantakos 4th, Mike Sarantakos 5th. And it's Fabio Olivieri, Clinton Nichols, Dusty DeBoer, and Bobby Tolton completing the first qualifying heat. That one again brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Second qualifier for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, brought to you by Caledonia Auto Supply.
Calvin, here we go.
Caledonia Auto Supply heat race number 2 is underway. The 3-4 wide down into corner number 1. That's the way we like it in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
You know, it used to be exciting to say 3 wide, even 4 wide, but that's just normal now. There needs to be a new term.
Man, oh man, they are getting on it here in this second qualifying heat. And you've got one of the big hot shoes starting in the back of this one. John Jansen, winner on week number 1 in that bright number 66, that bright orange 66, working his way through the field on lap 1.
A couple of our veterans in the field really struggling to stay competitive. Mike Giberson in the 11, Dave Goodacre in the 05. They've been racing here for a long, long time. Tough to keep up with the new competition, Greg.
Jeremy May leads the way in the 16J. Jonathan Ayrton, who looked very good on opening night in that 21, sits in the second spot. Patrick Gaberson make that Mike Giberson in the third position in the 11. And Dave Crumby doing a nice job, but he'll go 3 wide with John Jansen's down the back stretch.
3 wide doesn't bother Mike Giberson one bit. He has seen it all here at Ushweek, and he's getting a close and personal look at the concrete in turn number 4. Went way high down out of turn number 4 that lap.
A little bit of smoke out of the Dave Crumby 63C, but still holding on to the 4th position as John Jansen has done a nice job. Started back in 10th, he's up to 3rd and closing on the top 2.
Jansen closing in with 2 laps to go. 2 laps remain, and we've got a side-by-side battle for the lead.
26 of Tim Newell headed pit side in this one, as the battle at the front is a good one. May and Ayrton side by side, and the point leader right behind them, ready to pounce.
Jansen waiting to see which lane he wants to follow, or is he going to find his own right around the bottom? 3 wide, door to door to door out of turn 4.
And somehow John Jansen gets the better of both of them and grabs the lead with 1 to go. But here comes Ayrton and May back on the top side. They're not going away.
Not at all. Let's see the run they get down the back straightaway one last time. Jansen leads the way, but he's not pulling away by much.
Jansen's your leader. Ayrton and May going at it for second and third. Checkers at the line. John Jansen's will get the win. And the transponder says Jonathan Ayrton grabs the second spot over Jeremy May. Dave Crumby comes home fourth. Fifth will be Brian Crosgrove. Sixth, Patrick Abramson. Seventh is Dave Goodacre. Eighth, Mike Giberson. Ninth, Mike Taylor. And 10th, Tim Newell, who did not finish. Again, that second qualifier brought to you by Caledonia Auto Supply, as Miska Trailer Factory Heat Race number 3 heads to the speed.
Davey Boughton, and then the 4X alongside will be Jason Kutu. The 06 is Joey Wilcox alongside of him. In the 54, it's Christopher French. And on the last row, starting 9th and 10th, will be the 79 of Steve Miller, and alongside him, the 222 of Nick Mazzy.
Nick Mazzy had a great opening night and as a rookie driver. Got the win in his qualifying heat. He's got a lot of work to do here tonight, though.
Starting dead last in this 10-car field, only 6 laps to make progress. You've got to get going right from the drop of the green. One car confidence spitting down into turn number 1. I'm not sure if that might have been Doug Erskine in the 64.
Jason Coutu had a wild ride down the front stretch, back and forth, and somehow ends up in the second spot as Kalia Sims now goes at it with Kyle Wirt. For that third and fourth spot is now Christopher French has gotten in on this.
Lots of lines to choose from around the Big O. But what a launch for Brandon Crumby in the 63. He leads by almost half a straightaway. But the battle is on for that second spot. Kutu has it run on the bottom of 3 and 4. And they fan out behind him looking for racing room. That number 19 up into the third position.
Brandon Crumby, your leader, a rookie 1 year ago, and showed very quickly he wasn't really much of a rookie, going to victory lane a few times and doing a nice job in that 63. The asphalt driver turned to the dirt, at least part-time, has done a nice job since joining us here at Oswego Speedway.
Man, Kyle Wirt looked to have that second position, but in 3 and 4 went way up to the outside. Not sure if he's choosing to run that high line or if the car just drifts up there, but it's almost like the engine cutting out on him in the corners because he is losing ground. Nick Mazzy with an aggressive move to the bottom. He's looking to take over third. He is going to do it coming off 4.
2 laps left to go in this third qualifying heat, brought to you by Miska Trailer Factory. Brandon Crumby leading, Jason Coutu in the second spot. Nick Massey, here he is, started at the tail, up to third. Great run by the 222.
Doug Erskine driving the wheels off that 64 machine, but making no progress out there as the white flag flies for Brandon Crumby. Great battle for the transfer spot. 29T has the position right now. Davey Boughton, the 29X. He makes the pass for fourth, and now Doug Erskine looking to take that 5th spot on the outside in the 64. It's Christopher French and Doug Erskine battling for the transfer. Kutu finishes second. Mazzy third, Wirt fourth, Boughton 5th. And the rest will have to go to the consi. Christopher French, Doug Erskine, Steve Miller. Be in order. Green flag is in the air, and we're off for our final Ministock qualifying heat. Mark Bazine leads him down into turn number 1, but Jason Dixon also got a great start from the inside. He'll take up the second position. Then they're side by side for third. Mike Evers down low. Look at Jansen launch around the high side of the racetrack. Jansen takes over third, now taking second on the high side. He has got that 66X wound up. Works down the back straightaway, taking over the second position. Now he'll close in on Bazine, who leads the way. Mike Evers in the 265 showing some smoke out of the back of that machine. Bazine, Jansen, and then the 6 of Dixon. That's how they run down into turn number 1. The top 3 with a bit of real estate over the battle for 4th, where Mike Evers still hanging on to the spot. Bazine gets a little bit loose out of turn 4. That allows Jansen to close in. In 5th is the 49. Whoa, big issues down in turn number 1. Hodgson in the 49 up the track. Mike Evers in the 265. Same with Dixon. So I think Dixon had a problem, headed to the outside towards the pits, and that affected lots of cars that were in transfer positions to go to the feature event. We'll tell you soon who the benefactors of that move were, but at the front, we've got a battle for the lead. Bazine goes down into turn 3 on the inside. Jansen heads to the high side of the racetrack. Bazine gonna let his car drift up to the top of the track as he takes the white flag. Jansen a little bit higher than Bazine, but there's not a lot of room out there. Drifts up towards the outside wall. He is still committed to the high groove, coming through 3 and 4. Bazine again goes in on the middle, lets the car slide up to the top. Jansen gonna squeeze through on the outside. It is almost a dead heat at the line. Bazine takes it over Jansen, finishing 3rd. As I've lost my timing and scoring momentarily. Wade Thorne 3rd, Rob Twitchett 4th, and Kevin Hilborn takes the 5th and final transfer spot. Eight cars going to make it to the big dance.
Still a few cars going to go home from this, so it's going to be interesting as Patrick Abramson mid-pack goes 3 wide into 1.
Well, what's interesting to me is Hodgson's lost a bunch of positions there on the start, and maybe that's exactly why. Maybe he was worried something was going to happen, didn't want to be in the middle of it, but that 49 from a podium result on opening night to be out of a qualifying position.
Bad first lap for Dave Goodacre, goes around in corner 1, is able to keep the car going, so he stayed green, but now a half a lap back, so he needs to see a yellow for any chance to get back towards the front and into a transfer spot.
Dicey racing down the back straightaway. They're bouncing off each other. How Mike Iverson got his nickname the pinball. That's the way they're doing it to get into the big race here tonight.
Gary Hodgson's doing a nice job working his way through the field. He'll work by Newell into corner number 1, setting his sights on a transfer spot.
And he puts himself into a transfer spot with that pass, but he'll want a couple of insurance positions for sure. And look at Steve Miller in the 79. Racing hard down the back straightaway, so he's still got a couple of cars behind him that can run a little bit quicker and get up there to contend.
At the front of the field, Fabio Olivieri and Jason Dixon going at it. They're door-to-door down the back stretch for the lead. Bobby Tolton back there in position 3, and then it's side-by-side with a pair of Mustangs going for 4th and 5th.
Clinton Nichols looking good in that 43C, swinging it sideways off of turn number 4. He runs in the 4th spot, and Christopher French sliding backwards in that 54. Just like in the heat race, that car would take off, and then it would slow down again.
Dixon, your leader. Cross flags have been displayed this time by. It'll be 5 laps on the board and 3 laps left to go.
My guess is that in a lap or two, we're going to see Christopher French fighting with Mike Giverson and Steve Miller for that final transfer spot. Whoa! Big slide up the racetrack for Bobby Tolton. Almost collects Fabio Olivieri, but he gathers it in. So now second, third, fourth, clumped together on the racetrack with 2 laps to go.
Dixon doing a nice job. Olivieri right now in that second position with Tolton holding on to third, Clinton Nichols fourth. Fifth is Gary Hodgson. Sixth is Christopher French. Seventh, Patrick Abramson. And the pinball, Mike Giverson, has that final transfer spot. But here comes Steve Miller. He's clawing back towards 8th. And now DeBoer, Dusty DeBoer, spins in the backstretch.
He'll try to complete the 360, put up a big dust cloud, and take off with 1 lap to go. Whoa, Hodgson slides up the racetrack, gets into Tolton. Lap traffic coming into play as well. Out in front is Jason Dixon, all by his lonesome. Looks like he will take the checkered flag. Behind that, it's still anybody's race.
Olivieri will come home second, and it's Hodgson, Tolton, Nichols, Abramson, French, and Giverson will hold on to the final transfer spot as the checkered flag flies in the B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. So everyone from the 11 Mike Giverson forward will go to the A main. That includes Jason Dixon, Fabio Olivieri, Gary Hodgson, Bobby Tolton, Clinton Nichols, Patrick Abramson, Christopher French, and the pinball Mike Giverson.
And
Stock drivers, green flags go up in the air, and the fan out heading into corner number 1.
going to the outside is Brandon Crumby in that 63. Taking the long way around, keeping it wound up at a turn number 2.
And Aaron Rowitzki is very strong here tonight in that 4 machine. He's going 4 wide there with Tim DeBoer, Jeremy May, and Brandon Janssens. He'll get kind of scurried out of that spot and drop back into 7th.
Mark Bazine got way sideways out of turn number 4, had to lift and gather it up. Lost a position, lost a bit of ground to the leaders.
Down the back stretch they go and into corner number 3 with Crumby and Janssen side by side for the top spot. Mark Bazine in on this one as well. Tim DeBoer looking racy in the top 5.
Now they're side by side for the lead. John Janssen and Brandon Crumby duking it out. Janssen with a bit better run out of 2. Crumby closing it in as they drive into 3.
Janssen the winner on week number 1 and just been very strong from the drop of the first green flag this season. Had a good run in his qualifying heat tonight where he started at the back and worked his way to the front. He's holding off Brandon Crumby and Mark Bazine right now. These 3, along with the man right behind them, Brandon Janssens, make it these 4 have really been the cream of the crop in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Well, that's for sure. Looking deeper in the pack, they're still racing 3 wide, 4 wide. Everybody looking for racing room to move towards the front. But Greg, as you said, Janssens, Bazine, Brandon Crumby, these are the drivers that generally set the pace, and now we're seeing 3 cars break away from the rest of the pack.
Aaron Rowitzki, who had a good start to this one, is kind of falling back in the pack, and he's struggling with that car number 4. A good run in his qualifying heat tonight, but he's being gobbled up as here comes Davey Boughton and Nick Sarantakos going around him.
Davey Boughton giving a little bit of a push down to turn number 2. To the work machine, I believe that is the 19.
Yep. John Jansen's your leader at the stripe on lap number 6. Over Brandon Crumby and Mark Bazine. Bazine really wheeling it hard, trying to get by Crumby. And again, a very nice run by Tim DeBoer. We don't typically see that 9 machine up in the top 5, but he's up there and holding on strong.
It's the second DeBoer to be having a good run tonight in the feature events. Problem for Christopher French in that 54.
Brandon Crumby, second place, loops it around in corner number 2.
That's an unfortunate turn of events just prior to the halfway point in this mini stock feature.
I got to make a correction here. I was talking about Aaron Rowitsky and falling back a bit, but again, they've got the two cars out here tonight. Correct.
I love the handicaps.
If that's wrong, Clinton will tell us. As soon as you start asking a question, I get very nervous.
I'm sorry.
I should know these things. Green flag back in the air, Mark Design will grab the advantage down into corner number 1. And now they're side by side. Brandon Janssens gets a great run off the banking in corner 2, shoots it down the backstretch. He's going to make it 3 wide into 3 and 4.
How about DeBoer in the number 9 running in that 4 spot, not letting them get away right now as we're just now reaching the halfway point of this feature.
And 5th on back, it is a mess right now. Aaron Rowitsky has 5th, and there is a gaggle of cars behind him. 3 and 4 widened spots. A nice drive by Gary Hodgson. He had to come through the B main. He has worked his way into the top 10 now.
Another car that's been hit and miss all night long, had moments where it looked like the car just wasn't even running coming off the corner. Now he's charging towards the top 5.
Remember, Gary finished 3rd on opening night. And then in the B main tonight, he started deep in the B main to work his way into a transfer spot. And now here he is. He thought about 4 wide and then backed out of it.
Yeah, that hole closed in a big hurry. Out in front, it's Jansen. Right behind him is Bazine, and that car is evil for Bazine. It comes out of the corner.
Oh, Wade Thorne and Newell and Sarantakos. That was as close to an accident as you'll get.
That Bazine car, I don't understand how it's so fast, as twitchy as it is coming off the corners.
Yeah, the rear end really likes to step out, but Mark wheels a pretty wheel on that 21X, keeping pace with the 66 of John Janssens. Brandon Janssens back there in 3rd. He was the champion 1 year ago. And again, Tim DeBoer doing a phenomenal job up there in 4th. Has really found something in that Tim Sonato number 9.
Aaron Rowitsky rounds out the top 5 as Davey Boughton closes the door on Gary Hodgson, who was working to the outside on the front stretch.
This time by will be lap number 13. That means 2 laps to go, and a new leader at the front. It's Mark Pisani. Slides by John Janssens.
Wow, Davey Boughton got way loose out of turn 4. This is going to get ugly down the end of the front straightaway. Nice job of driving. Wow. I believe that was Ayrton and Hodgson.
That was fixing to be ugly. Now Jason Dixon gets turned sideways by Sarantakos. Gary Hodgson goes to the pits with a nose cone dragging on that car. So a good run comes to a halt right there. We got a great battle with a half a lap to go, and we're almost going to miss it.
Bazine leads the way. Jansen's got one more shot through 3 and 4 to take over that top spot. He'll drive the car to the bottom coming out of turn number 4. Bazine takes the win. Jansen to 2nd. Jansen in 3rd. DeBoer 4th. Rowitsky rounds out the top 5.
Mark Zion out of the car. Very excited for the win here tonight. As he celebrates down here at Lucas Oil Lane. They'll be celebrating with some burgers down at the Burger Barn, I'm sure, this week for Mark Bazine, his first win of 2017. He didn't just beat one Jansen, he beat 2 Janssens here tonight. Mark, great battle at the front, and man, to get by that 66, you know you've really accomplished something. Your car looks so strong, but it looks so edgy. That rear end really wants to step out, but it looks like you really got it figured out.
Yeah, it was loose. I think a lot of it's to do with the tracks just glazed over being the end of the night, but I knew if I could get down low on them like that, I might stand a chance, so that's where I was trying to focus, get this thing, pick my line there.
A win early in the season really helps build momentum. That's got to be pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to build consistency this year. That's we're after a championship. That's what I want to do. So for a second place last week, first this week, we'll take it.
Who would you like to thank?
I got to thank Jason Hill at Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction, my crew, Jake and Norm, all the Thorn Racing crew, everyone back there at Burger Barn Racing.
There you have it. Mark Bazine picks up his first win of 2017. We'll move over here and talk with John Janssens. Well, you had 1,000 batting average going until about 3 or 4 laps left to go, but still a good start to your season.
Yeah, tough to complain about that. It's good stock car racing. He kind of, I guess, owed me one from the opening night, and that was a good race. We ran well, and I can't complain about second.
How different is it running this late in the night after all the laps on the track?
It's hard just to control the nerves, but the track held up awesome. Like, I was expecting it to be dried up and torn up, but hats off to the crew, the track crew. This thing hung together well tonight.
There you have it. John Janssens comes home in second, and Brandon Janssens with that beautiful Epic Racewear suit on comes home third. Good start for your team. Looking for that championship repeat, but when these two guys keep finish 1 and 2, it's got to be tough for you to keep seeing them in your windshield.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. The track was a bit dry, slick again, and I always seem to be able to stick with them for like first 2 laps after a caution, and then they just slowly pick away at it, and then they both kind of peel off, and there's nothing I can really do but try to hold the position I'm in. So good race to both of them.
Got a lot of good supporters for these 2 cars. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Hawkins Electric. Mike Hawkins, the owner, he came out and sponsored us again this year. Our new sponsor, Woodstock Nissan, they came in this year too. We really appreciate it, and I'd like to thank them.
There you have it. Brandon Janssens comes home third. That will conclude another night of Friday night excitement. We want to thank Club 54 for their support and bringing us tonight's racing action. Don't forget to be back next Friday night, 7:30 start time, as the Patriot Sprint Tour is in town for their one and only visit. And should be another great show with our other 4 divisions on the card as well. So that will do it on behalf of the ownership, all the officials that make things happen, and my Jeff Adam, but Greg Keldon saying so long. We'll see you right here next Friday night.